Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome to Sons of Liberty 1773. This is indeed where men and women from around the world gather in defense of liberty. I'm your host, Bill Bailey. So anyone out there that has any doubt that we are at war with Russia right now, this article should put any of those concerns to rest. This is at postmillennial.com. U.S. military personnel at a European base provide GPS targeting for Ukraine rocket systems. Ukrainian officials say they almost never launch HIMARS rounds without detailed coordinates provided by U.S. military personnel situated elsewhere in Europe. The United States has provided Ukraine with HIMARS, which are targeted missile systems, and it turns out the U.S. is also providing Ukraine with the targets at which to launch those missiles. Biden has said the U.S. would fund Ukraine's war efforts as long as it takes. A report from the Washington Post states that Ukrainian officials say that they almost never launch HIMARS rounds without detailed coordinates provided by U.S. military. Those coordinates are either provided or confirmed by the U.S. and its NATO allies before Ukraine launches their strikes against Russia, which invaded Ukraine nearly 1 year ago. That the U.S. was giving over not only HIMARS, but the means by which targets would be ascertained by the Ukraine military, which was not previously disclosed by the Pentagon. What this means is that the Pentagon is not only providing weapons and aid, but is actively engaged in making war on Russia. This is not something the Biden administration has been forthcoming about. No surprise there. The U.S. official who spoke to the Washington Post under the conditions of anonymity said that the U.S. providing targeting assistance increased the ability of Ukraine to launch missiles with accuracy, thereby not wasting their limited ammunition. Ukraine uses their own targeting methods for attacks with their own weapons, but when it comes to the U.S. supplied HIMARS, the United States provides coordinates and precision targeting information solely as an advisory role. Yeah. So what does this mean, folks? When cumulatively, I would say that it's bad. We now know that we blew up, Joe Biden gave the order. We planted the C-4, and we used a sonar buoy months later that we dropped to detonate the charges and blow up the billions of dollars Russian pipeline feeding Europe. I mean, Europe should have never hooked up to Germany or with Russia in the first place. I believe Trump warned them about that, but they did. But regardless, it's Russia's private property, and we destroyed it. Not only did it damage Russia, but it's starving Europe of energy now for the winter. You know, doesn't seem real smart to me, but I mean, it looks like America under the Biden regime is a country that commits international terrorism. We meddled with this government, a border country to Russia, kept teasing them that we're going to put them in NATO and put missile defense, right there on the border. There was a border war going on for years, and it ended up, Russia attacked a year ago. On the 23rd of this month will be the 1 year anniversary, 22nd or 3rd. So we blew up Russia's gas line. We've caused a war, as far as I'm concerned. NATO and the globalists and the Biden regime are pushing for World War III. We're supplying weapons, state-of-the-art weapons, to kill Russians with, and now we're supplying using our technology, satellites, and whatever else to give precise targeting for these U.S. supplied HIMARS to kill Russians. I think Russia's going to, karma's come, or payback, retribution. I think a cyber attack or, cut our ocean cables. I mean, I don't know that they'd EMP us, but they could do a lot of damage just through cyber. They have a whole buildings full of Russian hackers and cyber experts, and they could do us a lot of harm just over the internet without firing a shot. But when it comes, and look, I'm no fan by any stretch of the imagination of Vladimir KGB Putin, but if I kind of feel like if he pulls something on us, Biden, what'd you expect? You keep poking the bear. And this regime, the Biden regime, they've caused so much trouble in the world and for America, okay? Our foreign policy is garbage right now. And he's destroying the dollar. It's not going to be the world reserve currency. It's not going to be the, the oil dollars have kept us strong, right? Well, Saudi Arabia and those oil nations, they think maybe they'll go with Russia and this new currency. I forget what it's called between, is it China and Russia and 3 other countries? No, we don't think we need to trade in dollars anymore. And it's the oil dollar, the petrodollars, that has kept the dollar, kind of allowed us to do the stupid printing of our money. So, and they took Russia out of the SWIFT system. Remember all that? Russia's economy and inflation, they're surviving, man. Who's getting damaged out of all these moves by the Biden administration? Is us. We're getting damaged. I shouldn't make light of this stuff, folks, but you got to have a little humor. It's insanity, crazy stuff, and we can't do anything about it other than keep prepping and keep praying. Stack stuff to the rafters and be ready for what's coming, for the storm they're leading us into. Pray that, peace. There's a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. And this stops. But when I see what's going on in the world with this compromised Biden family and the CCP flying their weapons platform, that balloon, it could have launched nuclear warheads. Don't weigh that much. I'm actually surprised. It could have been hauling nuclear warheads. It could have been hauling a major EMP weapon, bioweapons. The EMP weapon would be more the one, but definitely it came across spying across Alaska, our nuclear silos, data mining across the United States, over the East Coast and out to the ocean before Knucklehead here shoots it down. Then today, and this could be gaslighting, folks. Somebody brought that up in a comment. They shot down a car-sized object over Alaska. Not nearly as big as the balloon, but, said it appeared to move with the wind. We don't know what it is, but it's frozen up there, and they're going to go out and get it and probably show us something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was something nefarious or it's just BS. Like Biden's tough now. He's shooting down anything that comes toward America's sovereign borders. That's it. Going to do one more quick video. Won't be long on the Russian invasion that I believe has started, and it's massive. I believe Ukraine can't stand much longer. NATO and the globalists and the wicked regime in Washington are going to have to make a decision real quick. Are they going to let Ukraine fall, or are they going to and Putin win, or are they going to try to negotiate a peace deal, or are they going to send in the cavalry? Multinational force, fighter jets, and it's World War III. It's going to be one of those three. I like the idea of peace, people living their lives without government interference. Reagan said, people don't make war, governments do. Spot on. I miss Reagan. So as always, if you would give these videos a thumbs up, it'll push the algorithms up. If you just do it out of habit when you start watching my videos, it would be much appreciated. If you like the content, join our community and subscribe and comment down below. I'd love to hear your comments on this one. See you in the next video.